Why do I still look like Uncle Fester?
Well, you're always in the light and I'm always in the shadows.
Oh, my stomach is eating itself.
Hello!
Hello, everyone.
Import day!
Woohoo! I think we're gonna help pack the pre-orders and or just, I don't know.
It's currently 11:30. The sale starts at 2. I think Lauren's probably just coming back from the airport from picking up the plants right now. So we're gonna grab Starbucks, go there and see what they need. So we'll just like play it by ear and see what we get there and just kind of see what a pop-up day looks like.
Yeah, I think that you should at least show them, you don't have to show them everything, but maybe like plants that you found interesting or like really nice specimens.
Yeah. You got 3 plants? You pre-ordered 3 plants?
I pre-ordered 3.
I only pre-ordered 1, but I have kind of my eyes on maybe another 1 or 2. And we're gonna look for a Vici Nero for Charmaine. I'm really hot.
I'm really hungry.
Okay, anything else we need to preface? In a second, we're gonna switch over to my phone, so the audio and the video is gonna
be significantly worse, and you're gonna hear
just gonna be a low rumble the whole time. Actually, we'll see you in like 1 second on my phone. Add destination. This is what's it? Start. Oh, I don't even need this. Oh, that'll tell me. Okay, let's go. That's probably the most grandma thing about me is how much Dateline I listen to. I got like wireless earbuds for Christmas.
Aww.
Well, Garen got me wireless earbuds so that I can be quiet when I play Beatstar. And then now I just like when I'm like cooking or cleaning, I just have them in my ears.
The wireless thing is great. I just like go into my own world when I have those in.
It's too good though because I can't hear anything. I listen to way too much Dateline, but now everybody is suspicious to me.
Suspicious. Then you should watch Unsolved Mysteries.
Watch it.
Yeah. If you like Dateline, then you should like watching Unsolved Mysteries. The only bad thing about Unsolved Mysteries is that it's unsolved.
Oh yeah, of course, unsolved. Yeah. But the thing I don't like about Dateline is that like they try to wrap everything up so like decisively.
I know, it's really fast. It's not like the longer version, like the TV version.
Well, I feel like they move the story along like really slowly, and they tell you like they lead you down all the dead ends and stuff. But sometimes when the case doesn't seem like so cut and dry, they're always just like, and then the jury ruled this, and then like he was guilty. Yeah. And I feel like there's probably like lots of like wrongful convictions and stuff in there.
Probably, yeah.
But it's always like they make it seem like it's so sure, but like the evidence and everything is not that sure.
You should listen to Sword and Scale. It's true crime.
Sword and Scale?
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite true crime podcast. There's like 300 episodes or something, and they're like an hour long.
The true crime podcasts where it's usually normal, and then suddenly there's just like, oh, this is actually a serial killer story.
Yeah.
But they don't like describe it as a serial killer, so you're like, you don't know going into it. It's a crazy killer.
I like those. I don't like when it's too predictable.
You know what you want from your Starbucks?
I want something with salted caramel, and I want a hot drink this time.
They don't always have salted caramel though.
Well, they better have it today, or else we're gonna have some problems.
I think salted caramel's like not on the menu right now.
So that's not good. We're kind of pee-pee poo-poo today.
We're a little bit pee-pee. We're just poo-poo poo-poo. There's no pee-pee.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Poo-poo. Welcome to the Poo-Poo Show.
I'm poo-poo.
And I'm poo-poo. Together, we're poo-poo-poo-poo. The name is growing on me. Like, imagine you see like a podcast and it's like the Pee-Pee-Poo Show. You aren't gonna click it.
But you're not gonna expect plants.
No. But it's not about
It's not just about plants, no. I don't even know the name of the plant that I imported.
I don't remember any of the names of plants I imported.
I don't remember the genus name.
Your teeth look so white. Are you whitening your teeth?
No.
Don't look on
your teeth. Something Metallica.
Oh yeah. Right? Yeah. I think it starts with an E.
And then you've got a Politiforum, and then the purple can.
The guy blow it up and be like, see, I told you.
You don't know if it's like the kind of plant that stays mini.
I don't know. And I don't even think they know. If I end up hating it, it's fine because it was like $20. It's actually kind of expensive for a plant that nobody cares about.
That's true. But then like Micans, when they sell it, it's like $20, $30.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Weird.
That's weird.
That's weird.
100 plus for a VGI Narrow is not bad. I don't think it's a hard one, it's just quite slow. But you know the one that I chopped? No, I didn't chop it. I just repotted it into tree from fiber soil, and it rooted like crazy. It just popped a leaf, and I think it's gonna be way bigger than anything else I've ever grown. And it's growing faster now. Maybe it's not actually such a slow plant. Well, I don't think it's ever a fast plant.
I think it's a medium plant. I wish there was a pop-up show of just Hoyas. That'd be so fun. We should have like one of the sellers from overseas come and do like a pop-up. I
Like AH Hoya?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at Van Dusen.
I think it would be super popular.
It would be super popular, but how lucrative would it be for the seller? I wonder.
It's a lot of, it's a gamble.
How does a truck this size change lanes without signaling?
He must be an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen, I think it's on Netflix, I forget what it's called.
The hatchet-wielding hitchhiker. Yeah, I saw it. It was very good. Did you watch it?
I watched it last night.
Did you like it?
Well, I thought it was really boring at first until
It got juicy.
the murder happened.
It was funny. It was funny boring until it got good.
It was like, well, I don't find him very funny or interesting. So like when they're like playing out this whole like sensation and charm and stuff, I was like, I don't see it. So that's why I think I found it really boring. And then it got really interesting because it was like is he in this like weird world where he's like imagining things, or does he have this like complex where he needs to be a hero, but the only way he knows how to be a hero is like violence. I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow.
How short are you going? Don't go too short.
I don't know, I kind of want to change right now. Okay, so right now just about at my belly button or a little bit lower.
Actually, yeah, you should go short because your hair grows so freaking fast anyway.
But what if I went to like here? So I'll cut all this off.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't mean like here.
Like here?
Yeah. That would be cute too.
Would it?
Like right below your shoulder.
Like blunt?
Yeah. Okay, maybe a little bit longer then. Just so you don't freak out. But I think it's gonna look good.
But I think at least this much.
That's too little. I could give you that haircut for free.
Here? Maybe?
Yeah.
What are we getting from Starbucks for Lauren?
Shit, you can get her order. I'm gonna call her.
Hello.
Hey girl, hey. Hi.
Hi. Working.
Oh, how's it going over there?
Good. We're pricing things. How's it going for you guys?
Good. We're on the way, and I'm just wondering what everyone's Starbucks orders are.
Oh, Jesse will get water.
Water for Jessie.
Anna, what do you want from Starbucks? A pineapple refresher.
Okay. And you?
Banana. Jose. I'm good. Thank you. Jose's good.
Okay, Jose's good.
I am gonna just get some kind of like, they have those like the other flavors of refreshers, not pineapple.
Oh, they have
acai? Strawberry acai?
Strawberry acai and the dragon fruit, I think.
Maybe strawberry one.
Strawberry. Okay.
And Jeff's here too. Jeff, do you want anything from Starbucks? Okay, he's good too.
Okay. Do you want your refresher with? I think they usually ask if you want it with lemonade or
water
or like tea or like water.
You want lemonade? Lemonade, sure, lemonade.
And for you too?
Give me all the sugar.
Okay. Got it. All right. We'll see you guys soon.
Anna wants light ice.
Light ice. Okay. Got it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
Me too. My
Uh-oh.
stomach is literally grinding on itself. Aren't you glad I brought extra stickers? I love these so much.
Either purple or orange.
Orange.
Okay.
I put a sticker on my face on days where on the inside, I feel terrible.
Oh, it's nothing big.
Because I'm on my period.
Oh, it's nothing big. I just found this sample.
Skin fix.
See if you like it. I think the eczema one is, the eczema cream is like the hand cream.
Yeah.
But this is really moisturizing.
Ooh, thank you.
Very mild, I find.
I've always wanted to try Skin Fix.
The hand cream's
Thank
really
you.
nice.
Oh, I do need a good hand cream. My hands are so dry because of my OCD. Don't look.
My hands are really dry. Because my hands were all bandaged up for so many days. I wasn't hand creaming. You've been filming so much.
I know, I'm filming for a week of, so I'm just like a freaking corpse of a person. Filming like 5-6 days in a row is not ideal.
I don't know how you do it. You're way more in a rhythm than me because I go and I stop and I go and I stop and then I'm like, there's nothing I want to film, so then I just keep putting it off.
Then I think if you force yourself into a rhythm, it's not like a real rhythm. You know?
It just has to happen.
It just has to.
Yeah.
This guy's virgin. He's virgin.
Oh god.
I stepped on my imaginary brake. I'm hoping today we order some McDonald's or something else delicious. Now this year I'm trying to get myself to drive in more places because I'm only like comfortable in certain areas, but like I don't want to be scared of driving here anymore.
Are you scared driving outside of your like areas in California?
No,
Okay.
I can drive anywhere in California.
But
I'm
California
fine.
drivers are so aggressive.
I know.
So it's even more scary.
But I think it's because, like, for one, the roads are wider in general. It's not so tight.
More lanes on the highway.
Yeah, so many lanes on the highway. There's none of these unprotected left turns. There's no streets that you're just driving and then all of a sudden there's a parked car. There's too many weird things here. Too many weird things here.
Yeah, but in Vancouver it's more annoying to drive in the city.
I'm most scared driving in Vancouver. I'm fine driving pretty much anywhere in Richmond, New West, Burnaby, Poco, Surrey. It's
Yeah.
really just Vancouver that I'm terrified of.
Yeah.
And I have to drive to Vancouver on Monday, but I'm still scared of those streets because they're so narrow and then there's people turning left and like, I don't know, it's just very
Yeah. I think the thought of it is more
scary.
daunting than
Yeah.
when you're actually in it. Oh my god, it was my first DoorDash in 2 months.
No, I'm gonna DoorDash.
You're gonna DoorDash. Okay, I'll buy the Starbucks.
And I'm not accepting your e-transfer, by the way. If you haven't been able to tell by now.
It didn't tell me you didn't.
Yeah, because
I said or else.
because I'm leaving it. I just left it, and
Why?
then it's just gonna expire. Because you're so annoying.
Why? You know who's more annoying than me? Guess.
Me.
It's you. Wait, there's a spot here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need my phone to order.
All right. Well, we'll see you at North Shore Tropical.
Woo! Not that I'm gonna get it. But look at this super round luxuriance. $125.
It's not bad.
The prices are halving and then halving and then halving and halving.
Until they're just free.
Oh, I want to show you the platinum. Is it showing the color?
Kind of.
It doesn't, like, look at the hardened leaf.
It's
got
so
a
dark.
silver tint to it, but like, is this platinum?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like a silver sheen. It's beautiful.
Yeah. But this is super dark.
Oh my gosh. That one is like black. Black.
Yeah. But
That
if you're
one's so
comparing the
cute.
hardened leaves together, this one's darker, but like, does this one really look like super silvery?
Kind of.
Is it?
Yeah. In person, yeah.
It's nice. I don't know if I would pay the extra for platinum.
No.
Oh, they have little seedling luxurians for $75.
Oh, that's the one that you almost told me to get.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good size for. It looks larger than a seedling.
It totally does. There's another one here too. And then the newest leaf is like all wrapped up.
I just do not trust myself acclimatizing a lot. I can't. I don't
I'd do it for you if you wanted to. Oh, there's another one. This one's so precious.
Oh, this one is my favorite one. Tempted. Tempted.
Luxurians crossed with debilis or debile.
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 It's beautiful.
little leaf peanut.
I love it so much.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's so luxy, but the veins just go in a different way, and it's like
It's very.
larger.
It's like dark phoenix Venetian almost.
How much is it? 115. Oh, what?
115.
And the other one of this was really, really, really cute.
But look at this one. Bigger. Look at the texture of that. It's so hard to see in the freaking plastic. Oh, there we go. I like the shape of that one.
Yeah, the first one was cuter though.
Yeah.
Charmaine got a super narrow, but Lauren asked them to send like seedling sizes. So these are the seedling sizes. They're so perfect.
They're big for seedlings.
But this is like one plant you kind of have to go to the pop-up because sometimes you order narrow and they don't send you narrow.
Yeah, very true.
And it's happened, not to me, it's happened to other people before.
Show them the big one. Humongous. I would love
Can't wait
one
till
of
mine
those.
is this big.
Is yours in your EXO right now?
It's in my tent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Equaflor-a. Ooh, these are really narrow.
So long.
How narrow it is. I'm
So
tempted.
pretty.
It's $55.
Again?
Because mine's kind of fat. What if I could get one that's like really, really,
Really,
slim,
really thin.
you know? Like
These ones are super thin.
this one too. I know there's a demand for these now. Look at
That
the
one's
smaller
pretty.
leaves. They're
Yeah,
so
they're
skinny.
so slender. It's giving Slender Man.
Yeah. Either I want to get this or the Bessie apple both.
I think you should get the Bestier app. No cap.
Not this one.
You already have a Calidiflorum,
I also have a Bessie app.
but not one with a wide sinus. That one's
Like
thicker.
regular.
Yeah, that's
But those two are really
that's thicky.
I'm not getting any philodendrons.
Sure, you don't want another Philodendron gloriosum? May I entice you?
I'm at capacity.
They're
See, $100
They're still keeping their price.
doesn't look like a zebra.
No, it looks like a white veins.
Yeah, it just looks like a regular white vein. Because that's what they are.
Gloriosum silver. What's a? Oh, okay. Sure.
It's also a white vein.
Yeah. This is the Anthurium.
Marmoratum and Longus lobum. Remember we were talking about this in your video?
Yeah.
And I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either.
I could see the Marmoratum. I don't see the Longus lobum.
I don't either.
I mean, a little bit. Kind of in this leaf. A little bit.
Probably when it's juvenile, it looks
like,
more like it. But
where did
that's,
this come
yeah,
from?
That doesn't.
It's cute though.
It's just not my kind of.
It's not
Anthurium.
$205 cute. Sorry, Gilberto.
Ooh, there's a Morona. Whoa, it's big.
Is it ruffly yet? Not yet.
There's really.
No, not at all. Kind of doesn't.
Jean had one. Look how it's sized up. Boom, 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 boom.
Because that happened in Ecuador.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's Ecuador.
It was home.
So I'm looking for a Bessier Af that's wider. Mine's shaped like kind of more like this, like taller lobes, a little bit more narrow. This is not definitely what I'm looking for, but it is closer.
Like this one is a tighter sinus.
I didn't really expect to find my ideal Bessier Af because basically the spider best is like
The
what I want.
closest. Oh, yeah,
what I
yeah,
really, really like. Wide sinus and really, really round.
Yeah.
Or like the ones that look like a portier with a really, really arrow shape.
This
you just
crystal
gotta get
black is so black. Probably because it's wet. What is this? Oh, that's a regale? So narrow.
Weird. That's weird.
That's weird. Why am I so good at that?
Because you just go for it.
I know, I really do.
Should I get this one?
If you don't get it, I'm gonna get it for you.
Why?
Because it's $35.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, why is this one $70?
Because it's huge.
But this one's $50 and it's bigger.
Oh, because that's Bessie Af Silver. And this Bessier Af. What's the difference?
This one looks darker. But
Oh, it bleeds into it more than this. No, it doesn't. It looks darker.
I call bullshit.
Same. What about the Pally?
I know.
Tell us your thoughts.
If they're even without one of these.
Because I have both of these plants. I just want a different looking specimen.
But what about the Pally? Okay, but that Bessie isn't exactly what you're looking for.
Yes.
So get the Pally.
And
Goodbye, little fellow.
Bye.
You'll be
Someone
missed.
will make you very happy.
Yes.
Okay.
Who's the narrowest of them all?
They're the same, pretty much, right? Maybe this one?
Yeah, that one looks more. God, these are so nice. I wonder
Right?
what mine looks like.
oh yeah.
I know. What if yours is really narrow too?
What if it's not?
Then I can propagate this one. Which one? This one's more leaves.
This one.
Yeah? Yeah. This one's a bit more banged up, but it's a little bit
But bigger.
further along. Yeah. Okay.
She's like 9 months.
I was not expecting to get a Equaflor-a
I
today.
did not think you were gonna get a Pally either.
Look, it's narrow.
So
It's
narrow.
I need it. Well, actually.
Say hi, Lauren. Everyone subscribe to Lauren's channel.
And Frankie.
And Fanky.
My buddy.
I don't think.
I know. Everybody else is like, oh.
Oh.
But are you gonna?
Might need a narrow one too.
Yes.
I think I ordered some for myself.
Okay, so this is our pre-order bag.
Mine's pretty narrow. Look it, it's cute. Oh,
Oh, Frankie.
I'm happy with it.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty narrow. It's not as big as yours.
And your regular one is not narrow, so now
No.
we each have one of both.
But okay, I'm
Wait,
shook at
both
the
have one of
size
each.
of this. I'm gonna rip one open, okay?
Okay. Yeah, these
Please be blue and
blossom.
please be shiny.
Be
Please.
blue, be blue.
I'll go back to church, I swear.
Is it nice? Frankie's like,
I was not expecting this texture. It looks like a Hoya.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It looks really banged up,
It's
but
rough.
it's cool.
Let's see what the other one looks like.
It's definitely holographic blue.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised at the color. I thought it was gonna be green.
It's because we're on the floor, isn't it?
Did you guys show them that?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. It's like half my size.
This is the giveaway queen. Because Lauren takes care of her people. She was like, Gilberto, bring a plant that we give away.
And make it
humongous.
impressive.
And make it impressive. Because I was saying that,
They're so thick.
Alice.
That one's in better condition.
yo, that one's so much nicer. Why did I say yo?
Yo! Okay,
What the
so
heck?
this
That's-
is beautiful.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, why does one look like absolute crap and this one's
One's
like,
perfect.
oh my.
I also made that Mican's
Ow, my boobs.
wall with you and my shirt. I was like,
It's
looks like
beautiful.
if they were connecting, it's like a
I
know. Okay,
I'm actually surprised yours is so nice and dark in the sun there.
I know.
I just moved it in there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna chuck this at the wall.
Uh-oh.
Look at this piece of shit. It says bicolor. Philodendron bicolor mini purple.
What? Oh, because it's like red underside?
She has potential, but she's tiny. She looks like road grass. Okay, well I am
Okay,
happy with this. I think you should take this since this was the only thing you got.
I think we should unpack the stem and look and then make an informed decision.
Okay.
Yeah. This is nice lighting. Yeah, do a turn. Yeah, do a turn and then do a little dance.
You mean like this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like that. Look at those. Look at those feet.
He doesn't like that. He doesn't like it.
He said encore.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more we're gonna film at the pop-up because it's about to start now. There's already people lined up, and then we have to give away, pass off all of our plants that we sold in our purge. I mean, I don't really want to just film out the whole time and then miss out on stuff, and I like want to chat with Lauren and stuff. So the next time you're gonna see me, I think we'll be back at home unpacking my imports.
Yeah.
I thought I'd do a quick voiceover for this section showing some of Lauren's personal plants. So this is an Anthurium papillolaminum ralphlinum Fort Sherman, I believe. Lauren, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Then we have some of Amanda's seedlings here. So this is an RA5 Self, which is so crazy bully. It's so beautiful. This is another one. Lauren's kept a couple for herself. And then over here we have a RA5 Swamp Bunny cross, which is like 2 different papillolaminums. I have one as well, but hers looks really different. And this is like the most crazy thing ever. So this is a Carla Blackier Black Velvet Eastern Panama cross from Gay Plant Ho and Ghost Dad on Instagram, aka Juan and Grant. I have one from the seed batch and it does not have this crazy pink sinus. Lauren's specimen is so beautiful. It reminds me a bit of those red spider forgetii that are coming out of Indonesia.
That's a nice little booty hole.
I know.
Sheesh.
So nice. I'll chop mine for you when it's ready. And then this one is a red crystallinum forgetii hybrid, also from Amanda. It has the most beautiful emergent leaf. That color in person is so mesmerizing. It has like the really bullate texture, really beautiful silver venation. And then this one is Lauren's Luxuriance mother plant, and it's in flower right now. This King of Spades has the most beautiful silvery bleedy venation. This one here is Amanda's Bastard. I also have one. It's, I think, a Forgetii Magnificum or a Magnificum Forgetii. Mine is not this round, but I'm excited for it to grow. And then here are some of Lauren's Luxuriance hybrids. And these are her own hybrids. They're either Magnificum or Crystal Mag crossed with Luxuriance, and these are grown from seed and they're so beautiful. I just want to show you how nicely Lauren's growing them. And Lauren has throughout the shop a lot of Crystal Mag hybrids with really beautiful red emergent leaves. And you can see on this next one here, it almost looks hot pink. Like it definitely looks more pink in person. And as you will see, it is free. Lauren tends to dot some free plants throughout the shop, and it's a really fun little Easter egg hunt. This one is a variegated bipennifolium, which Jing ended up taking home. It's a really good price, hard to find. And then this is the most beautiful Florida Beauty. I really wanted to take it home, but I couldn't afford it, but it's a really good price. And just in general, a lot of really nice variegated plants. This is an Alocasia Lukey one. I also have one. These are growing really big in Lauren's shop. Obviously very happy, and it's only $5. And Lauren is now supplying these translucent drainage pots, which is probably my favorite drainage pots of all time. Very exciting. I picked up like 5 of them. Now back to the plant room. Guys, so I'm back. It's been about 2 days since I last turned on the camera. In that time, I've chopped off like a foot of hair. It actually feels like the pop-up was like a week ago, but it's only been a couple of days. But yeah, non-plant related update. Yesterday I chopped off about this much hair. It feels really weird still, but also it feels really normal. I find that like my body moves in a way that is always like accommodating for my super long hair. So if I like tilt my head forward, I'm always like putting my hand here to stop my hair from falling into things. So it's very, it feels very light. So I've decluttered my hair. So anyway, I want to show you guys what I picked up at the pop-up, as well as a couple of plants I picked up from Charmaine. And we're gonna work on the import plants and kind of just recap like how I normally start the acclimation process. This is just kind of like a vlog, so it's not gonna be like my total beginning to end process. So if you're interested in like the actual process, I will link this video in the description. But for now, it's 2 plants. It's basically, we're just gonna repot them together and then call it a day. So since Friday, I've had the plants in this bin. In total, I only grabbed 2 import plants. I had imported one and I picked one up at the show. I don't remember if I showed it. I've kept them in the bin since I got home. I haven't really done anything with them except for like take them out of the plastic because I was waiting to film them. So I did a bit of a risky thing, which is I put them in this bin with my Amanda plants. So the last batch of plants that we got from Amanda from the last tortilla slap video, they're in this bin as well. And I say it's risky because Huxley's coming in here. I say it's risky because I have once upon a time gotten thrips from a Tropicals import, and that came in with, I believe, like some of the larger leaf philodendrons. Like there were mames, pastazanums, and el chocos that all had thrips. You would think that there's if Huxley sees a box or a lid, that's where he sits, isn't it? You'd think there's a level of security there because all the plants go through phytosanitary inspection for pests, but when the pests are at a stage where they're still like embedded in the leaf tissue, obviously an inspector's not going to catch that. So that's why it's a little bit risky, but as long as it's not spider mites, I don't really care. I'm not really super concerned about thrips. So yeah, they've been in this bin right in this spot here, so it's getting light from all the grow lights around it, but it's not like directly on the plants, which I find is super helpful for acclimating imports because I just avoid harsh anything like blasting them with a lot of warmth. So I wouldn't put them on like a heat mat, for example. I wouldn't put them like directly under a grow light and blast them with light, just because like if you want to kind of gradually bring them into, you know, your conditions, and you want to gradually kind of warm them back up and expose them to light because they were in a box for a little while. When they send this volume of plants, they're not just like packing them up the day before or the day of and then shipping them out. They probably are spending a couple of days packing up orders for like this city or this city. So the amount of days that they're spending inside a box is probably a little bit longer than you would think. So that amount of time in darkness is probably not good to then just immediately just put them under bright light. So I find the bin method is actually the most like set it and forget it way to acclimate imports. However, it's just kind of like ugly, and you have a bin in the middle of your room. So this bin I actually don't want here anymore. Since I purged like 10 plants last week, I freed up a little bit of space in my tent for the Amanda plants, but I'll probably continue to use the bin for these imports at least for a week or two. And this is just like an IKEA bin that I keep fully enclosed, but I'll open it once a day just to get some air exchange, but I don't really like fuss too much about the air exchange. Just open it every now and then, and I've never really had much issue. So the plant that I had actually pre-ordered, if you had watched Charmaine's video where we kind of look through the price list and select plants to pre-order. I wish you can see Huxley right now. Just look at him. What are you doing, buddy? So in that video, I selected this plant to import. I thought it was really cool. So this didn't ship very well. So it's not the nicest specimen to look at, but this is a Elaphoglossum metallicum. I don't know if the viewfinder is going to pick it up, but under certain angles, you'll see this holographic blue tint. Which one's more blue? Maybe you could see it on this one. Maybe. I've seen photos of it where it looks quite blue, so maybe you can kind of induce the blue. I picked this because it reminded me a lot of the Microsorum thailandicum, but with a cooler leaf, a lot bigger of a leaf. And I believe this is a fern. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is a fern. Charmaine and I each got one. Hers is much nicer, and I let her take the one that looked quite perfect because she paid for both of them. I don't know why. I think she was paying for them because I'd paid for like a food order or something like that. It didn't really feel fair for me to take the nice one since she had paid for this. So I picked this one. I don't know what this kind of damage is, especially considering that hers came in so perfectly, but I'm inclined to think that this is cold damage. It's not super cold in Vancouver right now, but then again, I do know that it traveled through Ontario on its way here, so I don't know, maybe it was cold then. The second plant I picked up is, and I'm very excited for this, I was not expecting to get this at all. I saw this Anthurium pallidiflorum and I could not resist bringing it home because it is so stinking narrow. I've always wanted a really narrow pallidiflorum. I've always wanted a really narrow vitarifolium as well, but I've never been able to find one, especially not in person. I guess it wasn't really much of a priority. Let me scoot up a little bit. I don't know if you can see my main pallidiflorum, but this is it here. It's, to me, this is like a regular one. It can kind of grow quite broad leaves. And then let me just put it up beside it. I don't know if you can see it all. So there were a couple, at least 2 or 3 of these very narrow pallidiflorums, and I made Jing buy one. And then the one that Charmaine got, which you're gonna see in her week of plant to-dos, hers ended up being really, really narrow as well. So we were quite fortunate, I think, because I'm pretty sure in the past they've sold narrow pallidiflorums as like narrow, like they've separated them out as narrow and they were a little bit more expensive. This was $55, which is not my favorite price, but it's not too bad either. I imported my regular pallidiflorum in 2020 and it was like 1 or 2 leaves, unrooted actually. I think it was, yeah, it was pretty much not rooted at all for probably about the same price. And this one has like way more leaves and it's quite narrow and it's really beautiful. I picked this one even though it has, like you can see, a good amount of cosmetic damage. Like it got a little bit banged up, it looks like, in transit. But I picked it because it has more leaves, and the more leaves that were showing quite narrow, the more I felt like it was a definite trait of this plant, and it's not just induced by conditions. Because there were other pallidiflorums at the pop-up that were like what I would consider like normal, which is like a little bit broader in the leaf, and I would assume that they grow them in the same part of the greenhouses under the same conditions. So I am super excited about this, and I hope like by this time next year it'll be like a good long leaf size. They've been sending plants in pots lately with a lot of moss, which has been kind of nice, but the pots aren't as like, they're not holding water as long as when they keep them in the bags. If you've ever imported for them, you might have experience where they have the moss around the roots and then like it's a little tiny plastic bag they wrap around it. I find that holds the moisture a little bit longer. This pot in particular was pretty much bone dry when I got it. So I gave it a little bit of a water and then I chucked it in the bin. And then in terms of what I picked up from the shop, Lauren recently got these square pots. So you would have seen me use these quite a bit. Jean was selling these in her shop and she's sold out. I think she might only have like the small size left, but I was out of the big ones and Lauren has them now. If you're looking for these square pots, Lauren has them. She does ship, but pots take up quite a bit of space, so the shipping isn't cheap. If you're looking to get the pots, just maybe like do a group order with friends. But these are awesome. I love these pots so much. As far as drainage pots go, the side slits are pretty big, so it's, if a root escapes, it's easy to kind of pull them back in. The drainage holes at the bottom can be a little bit rippy for roots that escape, but overall I really like how sturdy they are and like that they're frosted, but you can still see through them. So I've just grabbed 5 of these big pots. And then from Charmaine, I got this little pink princess from her purge. She was selling this in her purge and I claimed it for myself because it's got a really nice like speckly variegation. It is quite small, but my pink princess is being a little bit annoying right now. It is sizing up and everything, but the variegation is very much like almost fully pink on one side, and the other side of the stem it will throw like a fully green leaf. So it's not very stable and a lot of the pink is dying off because it is so pink. So I probably will have to chop that one back, but in the meantime I wanted something with more like spread out, even marbly variegation. So she recently repotted this in a video, but I feel like I could probably get this on one of like Lauren's like D-shaped moss bowls and try to size it up, because I think I probably want to grow it in pond, but that's not for today. I'm not going to transition it because it was just repotted, I would assume like within the last week or so. So I'll just like let this grow out for a little bit. And then last thing is very exciting. This is, oh, it's labeled. Charmaine, so cute. I don't have to label it. This was chopped off of her mother plant. This is an Anthurium Warocqueanum esmeralda, which she was right in assuming that I killed mine. So I had a really beautiful one, which was imported as Warocqueanum crossed with Waterburyanum, which I don't think anyone believes that that ID anymore because they pretty much all look the same. And for a hybrid like that, you would expect more variation amongst the specimens, but they pretty much all look the same. And suddenly they were selling them as Warocqueanum esmeralda, which I think is just like an unidentified Anthurium, longleaf Anthurium that bears some resemblance to Warocqueanum. Anyways, mine was beautiful and it was growing really well. And then I put it in killer pond and then I got too busy to like really do anything about it and it just slowly died. So I get to start over with this one. It's in soil pool, which I think will be fine. So I could just pop this into my tent, like in the seedling kind of prop area, and just let it grow. So thank you, Charmaine. I'm very excited for this because I truly, that was definitely one anthurium that I was hoping to catch another one at Lauren's shop, but she hasn't had one for sale for a really long time. She has some beautiful mothers, but she's not selling those. So yeah, those are the 4 plants I picked up and the pots. I want to put the lid back on the bin, but Huxley is now sleeping on the lid. Buddy, surely that's not as comfortable as the floor. But I need that lid because I was gonna pot on top of it. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. I guess we're doing this now for a little while. He's completely relaxed right now. Okay, should we finish repotting? And then we'll have dinner? Okay. I know, you are a good boy. Let me have my lid back. It's not your lid. Off you go. Good boy. Don't mind Huxley gagging in the corner. You can lay down. I know there's no lid, but you can still lay down. All right, let's switch up the angle here. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let's do the Equaflor-a first because I really don't know what I'm doing and what I'm looking at when I look at this plant. So we will be learning together. I mean, I have no experience with this genus, and I have very little experience with ferns in general, so hopefully it's not too much of a mind fuck. I hate this moss so much. It's like chopped to like oblivion. It's like couscous. It's so fine, and I already don't like moss in general. So Charmaine kind of did warn me about this already. She said hers was like crispy as fuck. That's what I'm seeing right now as well. Oh, nope. I thought that was a root. Will it focus? I thought this was a root, but it's not attached. I think that was just moss fibers. Okay, already I'm not very hopeful about the survival of this plant because at the very base of the petiole, if you can see, it's like this black. Both of them right there. I don't know if that's like staining from being below the substrate or if that's about to die off, but it's really, really firm. Like the whole petiole is like hard as a wire. Oh, okay, that just came off. It was already detached. The roots look like they were deep fried. Right? Why do you have a spider web on your face? Where were you burrowing? I turn around and his whole face is covered in spider webs. It's all on your beautiful face, Hux. I mean, I'm not an expert, but this here does not look like it's a live root. Like the way that snapped looks like it was just fried to a crisp. So either, you know, the chemical treatments that they put the roots under fried it, or see, this just comes off. I didn't snap that off, that just came off. So either that or it got so dry in this moss, and it's not like this moss, you can see it's not like crispy dry. I didn't water this one. This was still slightly damp when I got it. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just gonna manually remove anything that kind of comes off. Like all of this. Oh my goodness, I'm left with nothing. I'm just left with a really questionable whatever this is. Is that a stem? Is that rhizome? Rhizome? I'm gonna go with rhizome. So with my shears, I'm just gonna remove all of these roots because like if I just pluck them, they just come off so easily. So I'm gonna just kind of snip off anything that's coming off the ends. And then I'm gonna give this a little bit of a wash. And I really don't think that, you know, this is looking very good and it may not survive, but it wasn't dead on arrival, so I wouldn't be like asking for a refund or anything. I hope that it would survive, but if it doesn't, this cost, I believe after fees and stuff, $20. That might be US dollars, so it might be actually a little bit more. This is what I'm left with, and is not a lot. It's looking, it feels quite dry, but I'm gonna have to give it a good wash to see like kind of what's under this like husky stuff. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did give it a little wash, and the results are inconclusive. Can't tell if this is healthy or not. All I know is that it's very firm, like it's hard as a rock. So we're gonna pot it up, and we're gonna pot it up in tree fern. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but by the time this video goes out, it won't be too late to change the substrate, provided it's still alive. So if, like, I'm making the biggest mistake of my life, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But I'm gonna do tree fern and no drainage because I have a feeling that it just kind of wants to be like damp all the time. And I hope I'm right. I'm doing quite a big cup, even though the rhizome or whatever is so small, because I want to be able to like stand it up. So something a little bit smaller, like one of these cups, is just gonna topple over. Or should I just do this in water for a while? You know what? We're just gonna tree fern it. I had considered doing tree fern fiber mixed with soil because it'll be a little bit denser of a mix, but then I've never acclimated an import in that mix, and I just feel like if it's a total bust, it would be difficult to kind of reuse that substrate, if that makes sense. As you can see, I'm not like filling this cup right to the top, but I want enough to kind of hold this cup down and provide it some stability. And I am completely covering that rhizome, and I don't know if I'm supposed to, so if I'm not supposed to, please let me know. Is that gonna, no, that's not gonna stand up. Maybe once there's water in it, it'll stand up. So that's basically how I'm hoping to root this plant. Again, I'm not feeling super optimistic about it because of like how much of what looks like cold damage is on the plant. Like if I tilt this around, all that brown, all this brown here, but we'll do our semi best. And then this is gonna go straight back into this bin here after I'm done. All right, next up, we're gonna do the Equaflor-a. Now this one I am quite confident about. Actually, even if it doesn't have roots, I'm pretty confident about Equaflor-a. This Anthurium is one of the easiest rooters I've ever had. I remember being really kind of anxious about it because when I first imported my Equaflor-a, I was so excited to have one after so long that I really didn't want to mess it up, and I was like really concerned that it would be really hard to root because I had gotten what they were selling as pendants, and that one, I think I killed at least one of them because they wouldn't root. So I was like certain that it was going to do the same thing, but it was so easy to root. I did, again, like at the time I did it in moss inside of a bin, and it rooted within like a week. And it rooted really fast, and it rooted really vigorously. And just recently I was fostering Charmaine's Equaflor-a that was giving her a lot of trouble. So what I got from her was like a 1-leaf unrooted cutting, basically. And it rooted just fine in tree fern fiber. Actually, no, it did have a root. It had the beginnings of a root from water. And I moved it into tree fern to root that, and it rooted really nicely. I had it in my tent, so I have no concerns about this whatsoever. And these roots look pretty healthy overall. I think some of them might have snapped in transit. And the way that I normally tell if an Anthurium root, because like these are quite thick, right? These are not the thickest as far as Anthurium roots go, but they're definitely thicker than a lot of philodendron roots. So one way is just kind of like dangle it and just watch how they dangle. If one thing is snapped, it will be really obvious just by the way that it's moving. So like this one here, just by the way it's dangling, I can see that it's been slightly severed at the top, and it's not gonna heal itself. Oh yeah, and this one here. If I want to just kind of start from a clean slate, what I could do is just snip off all of the secondary roots and just work with the primary roots. So the primary root being like the main one that comes out, and the secondary roots are the ones that branch off from it, just to increase surface area. And I feel like that actually might be the best course of action, because the secondary roots are pretty much like holding on for dear life anyways, and they're always the ones that are first to shed, and some of these are not looking great. This is way more roots than I was expecting or hoping to be working with, so I'm pretty happy about this. All right, this is what I'm left with. No, actually, this end looks a little bit sus. Chop that off. Okay, so this is what I'm left with. Some of these like roots that were growing in the air, they seem firm. I think I can probably get these into the substrate and turn them into like substrate roots. This is not a bad set of roots to be working with, so I'm gonna give this a quick rinse and I'll be right back. All right, we're rinsed off. So I know I wanna pot it into tree fern fiber, that's for sure. I know that this plant really likes it. I just have to decide which cup to use. I could use the same cup. I find Equaflor-a to be a pretty vigorous rooter, so I think it's gonna grow into this cup, no problem. Yeah, we're gonna do that. The other alternative would be to have it in a 4-inch pot like this, like the smaller one. But I feel like for acclimation purposes, we'll do the no drainage cup first in the bin, and then once it's kind of like, you know, established and starts growing again, I'll assess like a more aesthetic solution. But for now, let's just do this. Feels like a lot of people are looking for Equaflor-a again, which is really nice to see, because I always feel like it's not that it's an underrated plant, but it wasn't like a hyped up plant either. And I think that it's just such a good anthurium to grow, because it is so forgiving of so many different like types of conditions, and it's so forgiving of lower humidity, and it grows quite fast. It's one of those anthuriums where it's always working on the next leaf. It never really goes dormant for like months in between leaves, unless of course like it loses all its roots or something. But you know, there's just those anthuriums that like take like 5-6 months to form a leaf, and then it does nothing in between, even though the root's really good. And yeah, Equaflor-a is definitely not one of those. Okay, so keeping in mind the growth pattern of like the pendant anthurium. So pendant anthuriums is a true pendant anthurium if it grows downwards. So the stem kind of wants to do this. There are strap leaf anthuriums that aren't necessarily pendant because they kind of grow upwards, or they kind of grow upright. But true pendant anthuriums, like you'll see the stems, they might grow sideways, but eventually they start to point downwards. So keeping that in mind, I want to give it enough clearance to kind of get over the rim of the cup and go downwards if it needs to. Not that I will keep it in this cup forever, but I don't want the next leaf to kind of grow into the wall of the cup, if that makes sense. You know what, sometimes life happens and you don't get to repot in time, and you don't want to mess up a leaf because I didn't plan ahead. So for that reason, I'm kind of potting it higher up in the cup that it actually needs to for this root mass. But knowing that tree fern is like so airy, I think the chances of rotting the roots are quite low, provided I don't just like drench the substrate and like have it sopping wet with too huge of a reservoir, because it is no drainage. But if it was in a drainage solution, I would say it's like close to impossible to overwater in tree fern fiber. That's my opinion. Okay, so there is a new root you see up here. I can't really cover it without like making a little collar for it. But if it's gonna be living in the bin for a while, that root will probably end up staying hydrated enough to grow and then go into the substrate. Just kind of collapsing the air pockets. What I'm gonna do with this plant now is, off camera actually, because I don't have it up here with me, is I'm gonna water it with great white water. So the reason why I'm only doing it with this one and not the Elaphoglossum is because the Elaphoglossum doesn't have roots, and the myco is not going to be super useful unless it has contact with roots. The only thing I can think of that might be beneficial in that situation is like the beneficial bacteria that's in great white might stimulate something, but I don't know enough about that to say that it's definitely going to be helpful. So I'm only going to inoculate the Equaflor-a. So basically the tree fern fiber is already like slightly damp. It's not completely dry, but it's fairly dry. I will just saturate the substrate with some great white water, and then I'm going to get both of these plants back inside this bin. So just to demonstrate, I'll show you what I mean. This is the box with the amount of plants right now. I mean, this video is not about the Amanda plants, but they are very cute. They are doing quite well. Some of these I can be moving out soon. Like for example, this Bessier Af crossed with Ralph Bynum Fort Sherman. That can be moved out. And also my Dioscorea discolor, I finally potted it in pond. This one can probably be moved out. I can see that it's like rooting and it's growing new leaves. It's got this new leaf and another new leaf. These little seedlings down here definitely need to be in a prop box, otherwise they're not going to survive. But this one for sure could be moved out soon. So once this is watered and the Polydiflorum is inoculated, I'm just going to close this bin back up. And then it's basically going to be sitting like where I currently am sat right now. It's going to have light from all the grow lights. So the mother lights from above, which are usually like right where I'm sitting right now, all the Barina lights from above. So just kind of like nice medium light kind of from all directions. It's not super warm in this plant room, but it's definitely warmer than other parts of the house because of all the lights. I think this room is probably, do I have a hygrometer anywhere? No. I would estimate that this room is probably like a high of 23 degrees, low of like 20 degrees at night, Celsius of course. So definitely warm enough to acclimate imports. Again, I personally wouldn't use heat mats with imports, especially when you're shipping plants in the winter, because like you really don't want the plant to be going from like outside cold, like northern hemisphere cold, to heat mat. I think that would be too much of a shock. Spring, summer importing, maybe a different story. I just never really use heat mats because I'm a little bit paranoid about like cooking the roots essentially. And like, I just don't think that they're super, super necessary for myself. If I need something to be warm, I basically just chuck it into my tent, because the tent can be a lot closer to like tropical temperatures, especially in the summer. It goes to like mid 30s. So again, I'll be opening up the bin like once a day for like a couple minutes at a time. It's my time to kind of look at other plants in the box, look at root growth. If there's any like fungal growth, sometimes you'll see like mold growing on the leaves. Just give that a wash. If you have antifungal, you could use that. Bearing in mind that if it's a systemic antifungal treatment, you're going to kill any myco if you're going to be using myco at the same time. So just something to keep in mind if you're using myco and antifungal. And if it's non-systemic antifungal, if it's just like a foliar spray that just kills on impact, but it doesn't absorb into the plant and go into the roots, then you're probably fine. If you're using an antifungal thing, just read up on how it's on the active properties, I guess. So all in all, like a very, very tiny import. I did see one Bessier Af. I don't remember if I showed it in the footage, but I did see one Bessier Af that was cute, but it's not the one. I'm still searching for the one. There's two types of like mutations that I'm looking for. I'm looking for one that's very round and very wide, or I'm looking for one that is very wide sinus narrow, like looks like an arrow shape. But essentially I'm looking for one with like this shape. This is the probably Pappy Portier cross from Amanda, but I have seen ones with like a crazy wide sinus like this with a very narrow shape. Like they are very variable, but like I want kind of like an extreme look. So every time there's a pop-up, I'll be looking out for something like that. I didn't really see anything quite like what I was looking for. I'm not in any sort of rush whatsoever. So just 2 plants this time. Fingers crossed for the Elaphoglossum. Again, I don't know what I'm doing with these plants, but it's not that I don't care. It's just that at some point you got to do what you're able to do and just like let the plant do the rest of the work. And if it doesn't want to do the rest of the work, it probably didn't want to survive in the first place. But also keep in mind that the plant wants to live. You know, some plants arguably just want to die, but you know, for the most part, plants want to survive and they want to do what they can to maintain life. So when you're importing tropical plants from tropical climates, the only thing you can really do is try to replicate conditions from their home, but kind of ease them into it. So give them warmth, give them humidity, and give them light. I would argue that warmth is one of the most important things in the beginning, because I think there's some correlation between warmth and also metabolism, which kind of makes sense when you're thinking about how plants slow down in the winter. You know, even the plants that are under grow lights can slow down in the winter. And really the only variable that changes the most in winter is obviously temperature. So I'll definitely be giving you guys updates. Maybe in like a month's time, I'll do like a check-in on these imports and let you know like how the Polyphyllum is doing, if the Elaphiclossum survived. But yeah, I'm already seeing a lot on Facebook, not just like locally to me, but you know, all over the States and all over Canada, people are showing their import hauls, which is like really exciting. It just feels, as much as I love winter and I love Christmas and fall and everything, spring is such a contagiously exciting time. And just like the smells are different and like the light is different and the days are getting longer, and you know, it's very exciting to see all this like life around us. So if you're also importing, let me know what you got. I'm always really interested to know like what people are after and what people are excited about, because obviously it's fun to share excitement about plants, but also it helps me know what you guys like in general. It helps me know like kind of what to focus videos on. Like, is it anthuriums? Is it philodendrons? Is it, I don't know, Hoyas? I haven't done Hoya content in a really long time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of like vloggy import video. If you did, please remember to give it a like. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah!